Alright. Okay, let's continue. I'm not aiming to finish the game today. No, I'm just gonna get as far as I can. As far as, like, the next checkpoint, maybe. Order, please! Let us resume proceedings. Witnesses, you now retake the stand. Yeah, that's right, the last time we rebutted the... we rebutted the... like, the jury. Jeez, I can't think of what they're called. I presume you heard the defense counsel's summation examination? Oh yeah, Governor. I did, Gov. I did. Mr. and Mr. Skulkin. I almost said Mr. and Mrs. God damn it! This is gonna be a hard work, and hopefully my voice can keep up. It's not exactly the best today. Earlier in this trial, you gave the following testimony about your actions after you entered Windibanks. Oh boy, yeah. Here we go. However, that was a lie. Your brothers. Core blimey! On the night in question, you rifled through the items on the victim's counter. We never done nothing of the sort. How'd you figure that out? Wait. You'll now give formal testimony once again. You'll tell the court precisely what happened on the night in question, and this time you will tell the truth. Each lie that passes your lips serves to increase the severity of your punishment. And that, gentlemen, may deal a crushing blow to your chances of ever seeing the light of day again. A thought worth pondering, perhaps. Say no more, go. We hear you. Whip love, we'll swing, whip page. Here we go. Illegal entry, the whole truth. Alright, we did knock a few things over, but we weren't rifling for nothing. And when we had the gunshot, see, me and both jumping, all that stuff was flying. Let me, it didn't have to give me a fright. We was thinking the shooter come out the door and get us next. We stuck him back where we found it and scarpered straight into him in the black. We're gonna shut the pawnbroker, see? He never even had a chance, did we? So you admit to the defense's accusation. You did indeed ransack Mr. Windibank's countertop in the night in question. Not ransack, Governor, no. That's right, Nash. That's right. It's more like we tied it up, yeah. Doubt. Sorry. By their own admission, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery under dubious circumstances. However, they panicked and fled on hearing the gunshot, having first made good their mess. Hold on, I'm gonna check something real quick. Give me a second. Alright, alright, we're good. The way you say it, we hardly sound like roughs at all. We don't, Nash, we don't. Can't you make us sound a bit more cutthroat? It can't just be coincidence that these men showed up at Windibanks that night. There's more to the testimony than meets the eye. I'm sure of it. Let's just keep pressing. If that's the case, then why didn't you testify to that effect in the first place? Oh, I know what I forgot. That's why. There we go. Well, you know, we ain't exactly squeaky clean, are we? We ain't us, we ain't. If we admitted to something like that, people would think we was up to no good. Where said Ringo, me old China, or me old China, we'd only land ourselves in even more trouble. And in fact now, as a result of lying in your previous testimony, that's exactly what you've done. Land yourselves in even more trouble. Oh well, that's right, look. Says the rotten apple eater. Witnesses, explain your actions to the court. Why'd you ransack the victim's counter? We never ransacked nothing. Right, that's right. More like we tied the place up. Sorry. Hold it. So what you're saying is, the sound of the gunshots shocked you so much you knocked all the things off the counter? Well, Chuck, there's more than that. What? Chuck, whatever is that much here? This bag of nerves needs to learn to keep his shirt on. Look, it was loud, alright? Blimey, me dead granny would have broken it up to that bang. Big brother here screamed like a blooming baby and fell over on the counter. He knocked over a load of books, a candlestick, and some skull whatnot. That got tangled in some marionette. Once he knocked over a picture frame. What knocked over a picture frame? What knocked the scales off on the floor? You really mastered working quietly then. What a racket! Big Granny would have been scared back into her grave as a clown like that. So in short, the gunshot took you by surprise. It did some, and then it was quiet as a mouse, and then all of a sudden, BAM! Okay. Chomp, chomp.
Excuse me.
Inspector Gregson, do you have something to add?
Look, I keep saying I don't appreciate being lumped in with these scoundrels.
No, something to add about their testimony. You seemed to react just now at what Mr. Skulkin said. Did it make you think of something?
It's probably nothing, of course. I won't even bother to mention it only. Well, the fact is, cases don't get solved if you ignore the little details.
How about you just tell us what's on your mind? Yeah, that's a good idea.
As you know, we brought these fellas into the yard for the questioning last night. The statement they give and told a slightly different story to what they're saying now. Ooh.
Thank you for the host count. Welcome in. Did it?
You claim you heard the victim say something out before a gunshot.
Minor go, minor. Does ring a bell now to mention it.
Granted, it's only a minor detail, but still, I can't help but feel that like, perhaps you've been a bit sloppy with your testimony, fellas.
I discover the witness's testimony has been any more sloppy than it has hitherto proven to be. I should be forced to bring the very harshest punishment to bear against them. Easy, easy. We're getting right this time. That's it, yep. It's all coming back to me now. Then speak. Supplement the testimony with whatever details you have miraculously returned to your questionable mind, sirs. I mean, right, you're up, Griff. Alright. Just before the gunshot, we heard a voice yelling out, "Give me that gun!" What?
Hold it!
So in fact, you heard the voice and the gunshot almost simultaneously? We did, go, we did! Oh no, I suppose if you're being honest, we heard a kind of wavering voice before the yell and all. If you don't want to get shot, give me that gun! Kind of thing. A Korean acting tragically missed. I have to do this.
Oh, I missed!
Oh, I missed. And where were the voices coming from? Could you tell? Of course we could. From the other side of the door behind the counter it was. From the storeroom where the victim was found dead. And the voice you heard is the victim, Mr. Winterbank. Oh my god, it's alive! Of course it was! Oh, it's great life. Of course it was. So that would mean that you both knew Mr. Winterbank and the sound of his voice? So that would mean what? What, Nash? What? Any ideas? Yes, Counsel, indeed it would. Wait, I missed that. Hold on. It's not the victim. Oh! So Winterbank was saying that. Okay. No. We didn't know the geezer. How am I supposed to deny it when the bloke and all the fancy copper's giving us the evil eye? If you value your lives, you ensure your testimony is accurate and true. Oh, let me grind his life where it is. Oh, grind his life, it must be. It's a good job his granny's dead. To summarize then, immediately after hearing the voice of the victim, you then heard the gunshot, causing you to stumble and upset the items on the counter, scattering them onto the shop floor. You make it sound like we're clumsy. Don't forget we tied up after killing it, don't forget we tied up after, the good little boys. Anyway, the way I see it. And we get back to the testimony. Oh, hold on. The bloke what owned the place was holding a gun, so he should have just fired instead of yelling at the girl.
Hold it!
Thanks for the present. Oh, you just noticed the game I got you? Well, you're welcome for that. I figured it'd be fun. I figured it'd be fun for the four of us to play at one point. It's like a anime style board game where you either defeat monsters or collect stars. I haven't played it myself yet. I just bought it for the four of us. You, John, me, and Thunders. So I feel like that would be nice to play at some point instead of me bothering you about Mario Party all the dang time. You're saying that Mr. Winterbank had a gun in his hands? Oh yeah, but that what I say, eh? Them two waving their gums at each other must have been pretty heated. I mean, just before he shouted out, we heard the geezer say, "If you don't want to get shot." Do you really sound like he meant it, mind? More of an empty threat, you could say. Mr. Winterbank was known to keep a revolver on his shop counter at all times. People say to protect the articles in his keeping, People say that to protect the articles in his keeping, he'd readily put a bullet in someone's head if required. And someone being himself, of course. Good grief! Extraordinary devotion indeed, if alarmingly misguided. Well, he certainly sounded like he was ready to pull the trigger the other night. Only the person he was gonna shoot beat him to it. Cooked his goose proper. Bet he wished he'd squeezed the trigger instead of wasting time shouting, "Give me that gun!" And it was directly after those words that you heard the gunshot? Or more or less the same thing, Gerb. Give me the gun! BAM! Got anything? Yes. Oh, we've already seen that before. Then we heard the sound of someone hitting the deck. Why are we smiling their ears? I don't know. Before everything went quiet, dead quiet. After that, we're done and slapped this door up, trying the place up. Now we're back to the is that new? I'm not sure if it's new or not. I know these last two are not new. So we definitely got something new with these two. The blah. Hold on. Well, they're saying that there were two guns. Like each of them had a gun. But we know that only Winnebank's gun was found inside the room. And it was in the defendant's hand. It was in Gina's hands. And then the only other gun that we found was the Skulkin brothers' gun, their gun. And we know that shot fired. Well, how am I gonna prove that? I don't have like any evidence about. I don't think I have any evidence to disprove the fact that there was only one gun, unless I present the gun itself. There are signs of a single discharge. I've got life to spare. I'm gonna try it. Ah, dang it! It's clearly something odd about the last day of May 5 minutes. Blah 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 blah. It's clearly something odd here. Your behavior, council. These are my. You playing? Did you just turn on TF2? Okay. Significant. I mean, it's better than just playing Heroes of the Storm, I guess. Alright, well, that was not worth it. Or just before the. Well, that doesn't disprove anything if I present it here, because like Gina was holding the gun. Maybe I should just keep pressing.
Hold it!
So you didn't try to open the storeroom door then? Not in your life. It went deadly quiet after that, it did. Put the word right up to me. But anyway, the door was locked, wasn't it? No way that was opening. Yes, of course. It was locked from the inside, or so we've been led to believe. The worst game it was from the inside. Right, so we had no way of knowing what was going on in there, did we? Unless there was some other way to get a view of the inside of the storeroom. Like through a keyhole or a spy hole, perhaps? Don't ring no bells! Don't light no lights! We had to cut and run right before we noticed anything like that. We're still cutting our teeth in the game, see, but one day we really got to mistake. Please cut it out. But as we know, behind that door was the victim's lifeless body, with the accused not 2 feet away. Yes, unfortunately. Gina was in there, unconscious, with a gun in her hand. To confirm, it would be correct to say that neither of you set foot inside the storeroom? That's right, Gerv, that's right. Couldn't have, even if we wanted to. Oh, I got the voices mixed up. Oops. Oh well. Alright, I'll just press the rest of this. Yes, we're up and you fired a shot from your own gun at Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Oh, yeah, we was a bit hasty there. We was, Nash, we was. Truth be told, I was already shaking like a leaf when you lot turned up.
If you're shaking like a leaf, don't put a loaded gun in your head.
Good advice, miss, good advice. Truth be told, me and mine were totally blank.
Before your mind goes totally blank, make sure you don't have a loaded gun in your head.
Mental not made, miss. How did we laid it down the street, boy? Apparently we looked dodgy to the coppers or something, so they clapped the derbies on us like winking.
And after you've been handcuffed, the police found this revolver in your possession, correct?
Well, yeah. Well, listen, that proves it done. That proves it. Done it, eh?
Hold it!
Why should we believe that? Oh, well, cause it's true, isn't it? I believe we're totally empty when we went in.
At that time, the victim was already in the storeroom, having been forced to open the door by the accused who had the gun to his head. In other words, on the night in question, these two witnesses never even laid eyes on the proprietor of the pawnbrokery, Mr. Winterbank. Correct.
You got it, mister. Don't dirty. So the Skulkin brothers never actually encountered Mr. Winterbank. Is that really true, I wonder? That's it. That's the full extent of their testimony.
What is it, Bruno? You look very fierce. I can pour you some herbal tea if you're tired.
Oh, thank you, but I'm fine. Being such a logical thinker, you'll probably laugh. But I feel as though these brothers are still hiding something. Something important. There's nothing more than a feeling, though. I have no proof to support it.
Well, feelings can be very logical at times.
Sorry?
People's expressions, movement of their eyes, the words they choose. You can take it all in, and your brain will quietly analyze it to come up with a feeling that, like you describe. You've concluded that there's something suspicious about this testimony without knowing why, that's all. I think you should trust your instincts.
Iris? Thank you. Sometimes I think if she's 10 years old, I must be 5. Alright. So, what did he say in the last one? Never had a chance. Well, yeah, they never saw Mr. Winterbank. Oh yeah, like how would you know that he was holding a gun? Yeah, well, how do I prove that, though? Pawnbroker Paris. Oh, that's the news article. Oh, yeah, that's the backside of that is irrelevant. That's Clay by Mrs. Sato. Oh, okay, that's oh, that's Magnus been killed in case. Yeah, that's irrelevant right now. Bloodstains. Why do we still have these representation papers? Now let's look at the autopsy again. Okay, yeah, that's not relevant right now. Yeah, he's not holding a gun in this picture.
Objection.
So you're saying that in the night in question, the victim, Mr. Winnipeg, was wielding a gun, is that correct? Yeah, okay, thank goodness. Answer, Guff, you got the picture? Yes, Nash, yes, no question. And yet, photographic evidence obtained immediately after the incident clearly shows that Mr. Winterbank was not holding a firearm of any description. And you what? Gordon Bennett, that ain't right.
Objection.
There can be no question that the victim's revolver was used in the incident. I remind the court that Mr. Winterbank's gun was found at the scene. Not only was it identified as the murder weapon, but it was found in the accused's hands.
Yeah, the mold cooler would use the victim's own gun to finish him off. Give me our gun. Bam! Get everything.
Hold it.
Stay exactly where you are, right there. Eh. If the crime had taken place as you so colorfully described in your testimony, it would give rise to an undeniable and significant inconsistency in the final moments you just acted out. Goodness, are you sure, counsel?
You intrigue me, my learned friend. But let's see some evidence to support your claim. Where is the proof that demonstrates this inconsistency in the witness's portrayal of the victim's final moments?
So, what was the scene again? Give me the gun. Bam. Multiple used the victim's own gun to finish him off. Wait a minute, hold on. Autopsy report. The bullet entered the body from the back. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, he was shot from behind, not from the front.
Take that.
According to their testimony, the witnesses claim to have heard a shout of, "Give me that gun," followed by the gunshot. Indeed, with the two events happening almost simultaneously, or so we've been led to believe. Yes, that's right. Now, if that testimony is true, it would mean that at the moment of death, the victim and his attacker would have been facing each other. However, in the autopsy report, it clearly states that the victim died instantly after being shot from behind. So, as I stated before, there is an undeniable inconsistency in your testimony, Mr. Skulkin. Yeah! I forgot he's on a box. But it's a God's honest truth. It is, Nash, it is. When he was shot that night, the shopkeeper had a gun in his hand. We saw it with our own bleeding eyes. What? What? You said... Did I hear you just now? You actually saw Mr. Winterbank holding a gun? Oops. Something like that might have slipped up. Ladies and gentlemen, you have all just heard the admission by these two witnesses that on the night in question, they actually saw with their own eyes the victim wielding a gun, which can only mean that despite their testimony to the contrary, the Skulkin brothers must have encountered the victim in person. Nash, Order, order, order. Witnesses, explain yourself at once. Well, the thing is, you weren't supposed to. It would seem that my previous warning fell on deaf ears. I made it quite clear that false witness would be the death of. That I made it quite clear that false witness would be the death of you. Am I to understand that you replaced the untruths of your original testimony with renewed lies? I'm so sorry, Governor. Truth is, see, we Cut it out, Nash, cut it out! If we blab now, you know what it'll do to us? He? Who was they talking about? Oh no.
Let me take your position here perfectly clear.
Sorry, got briefly interrupted.
You will talk. There is no other option available to you.
Bruv, come on, up game's up. But I don't have our guns for garters. In case it hasn't quite sunk in yet, no matter how hard you try to hide it, the truth will come out. On the night in question, it is now apparent that you brothers met face to face with the victim. I demand that you testify again to explain the precise circumstances under which this meeting took place. Well, do we have to?
On pain of death. I suggest you make yourselves fully aware that this is your very last chance to tell the truth.
Counter with the victim. Alright, so we just got inside the cafe and even sigh of relief when the geezer showed us his mug. Give me that gun, he barreled, and then he flew at us like he was possessed. I thought we'd had it. Right on, geezer. That blow was strong as an ox. He took me over the counter. I pulled my gun on him, and then he linked it through the door into the back room. We had nothing to do with killing him. That's all what happened, I swear.
So you're now telling us that moments before the victim was killed in the storeroom, you in fact encountered him in the main part of the shop?
Well, yeah, sorry. Well, found ourselves in an interesting juncture. This changes matters considerably. But be honest, Governor, this time, we ain't got nothing more to hide. Well, very well. Counsel for the defense, you may proceed with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. This is it. The moment I've been waiting for. Just do what I normally do.
Hold it!
When you say geezer, I presume you mean the victim and the proprietor of the shop, Mr. Winterbank. Well, sorry. I mean, that's right. We was keeping a close eye on the entrance of the gaff, obviously. We never thought no one was going to come out of the back room like that. The back room being the pawnbroker's storeroom? Yeah, that must be where he popped up from. Only place it could have been.
So it would seem the victim was already in the storeroom when these brothers entered the premises.
Which means Ginny must have been there at that point as well.
That doesn't make sense, does it? If Gina had threatened Mr. Winterbank in the storeroom with her at gunpoint, then why would she emerge from the same room all alone when the brothers arrived?
I don't know.
Did you see the accused at the time? What, I'm all to could tell you. Don't worry, Cobra. We had bigger fish to fry in. I mean, the old geezer just lost it.
Hold it!
You mentioned that Mr. Windibank shouted those words in your previous testimony, too. However, you claimed that you heard him yelling them to the other side of the storeroom door. Oh, yeah, did we? But the truth is, he was shouting those words at you, wasn't he? Well, yeah. Okay, that explains the second. That explains the extra gun.
Was the victim, Mr. Windibank, wielding a gun at the time?
Was he ever? Blimey, lemmy! That great ugly barrel he had, pointing straight at me frontispiece. So what you're saying is, you definitely saw Mr. Windibank with the gun at the time. Is that correct? It is, Governor. It is spot on. Then all of a sudden he came at us. He did. It was bedlam. I don't know who was going for who. You were clearly all going for each other. Like that shirt. We thought we had her. I mean.
Hold it!
Yes, I know that you mentioned the counter in your previous testimony too. Well, yeah, of course we did. You knocked over a load of books, a candlestick, and some school whatnot. Think I tell you some marionette was knocked over a picture frame, boy, knocked them scales on the floor. So in fact, it wasn't the sound of the gunshot that shocked you and made you knock those things off the counter? Well, Big Buff here went flying over the counter like a gunshot, I can tell you. Then the old geezer pinned him. I did, no, he did. If you had been there, the bloke would have flattened me like a blooming pancake in seconds.
At the time in question, the alarm was raised at the local police station via secret cable from the pawnbrokery. There is a button under the counter used to activate it, which was presumably pressed by the victim.
That's right. When the brothers fled the scene and backed onto the street, they ran straight into the arriving police, didn't they?
Poor Mr. Windibank. He did everything he could to protect his shop.
Hold it!
Were you intending to shoot Mr. Windibank? No, never. It was just, you know. Look out for me, bruv, when I. It was being flattened, don't forget. By a man whose shop was being burgled, yes.
And then, the man fled into the storeroom when you pointed your gun at him. Is that it?
Yes, that's it. He shot me away, then ran off through the door and shut himself in. Something about that last remark. Something that doesn't quite ring true.
I wonder why Mr. Windibank ran away to the storeroom.
What?
Well, according to what everyone's saying, Jeannie was in there waiting for him with a gun.
Ah, yes, that's right. I need to get a drink. Gina allegedly used Mr. Windibank's gun to threaten him and force him to open the storeroom door. In which case, how did the gun end up in Mr. Windibank's hands again?
I have no idea, but that is strange, isn't it?
This little inconsistency could be significant. I should make a mental note of it. Look, the point is, me and my bruv here. That's right, Naz, that's right. Me and my bruv here. Okay, I think we found the statement that we need to... So, for the fourth statement is what we want. So... After you pulled the gun on him, he just ran away through the door into the room with Gina. And that makes... Was one shot fired from this gun? Signs of a single round, yeah. And we know where the bullet went. We know where the Skulkin Brothers bullet went. The ballistic markings clearly showed that it was Mr. Winterbank's gun that was shot. And obviously he can't shoot it. Like there is a possibility of suicide, but that possibility is quickly shot down for the fact that the gun was fired upwards through his back. Which if you're going to attempt suicide with a gun, you do what Mr. Winterbank was doing and just flat out holding the gun to his noggin. So suicide is off the table. But like the Skulker Brothers couldn't have shot him because they had their own gun. Like why would they need Mr. Winterbank's gun to shoot him? And wouldn't their fingerprints get on the gun anyways? So yeah, it's off the table that they're. Hold on. Huh, these pictures are showing like that's right, these pictures are showing like Gina's like this I meant to go back. This picture is showing Gina holding the gun. If Gina was conscious, why would he go back? Like, what time is this taking place? Yeah, okay, I guess I could press the last statement to see what they say. I'm just trying to figure out like what statement should I present. I'm just thinking, what statement should I present this? Because I feel like this a good statement that I could present this on, but I just want to see what they have to say here because I could be missing something. You say you had nothing to do with it? Nothing at all. Nothing, Garf, nothing. The old geezer went and shut himself in the back room, didn't he? Locked it was from the inside. We know it was because we tried to open it. But it's a decent door, that one, good and strong. We're in personage.
So in the end, the situation remains unchanged. Inside the storeroom at the pawnbrokery, there was only one other person. The sole person who could possibly have shot the victim, the accused Miss Gina Lestrade.
Ah. It would indeed appear so. What say you to that, counsel? Don't know. Was there anyone else apart from Gina who could possibly have shot Mr. Winterbank? Huh! It actually is giving me something. Was there someone else from I mean, is this a trick question? Well, hold on, I'm gonna save here. There definitely should have been someone else, but I don't know if I have a way to prove that. I'm gonna damn well try though. It could have been. Mr. Skulkin. What? What's that look for? From the moment you admitted that you encountered the victim face to face that night, The course of this trial changed completely. Hold on, I want to see something. Hold on, I just thought. Autopsy report, where is it? Time of death, 1:30. Oh. Well, I was gonna say it could have occurred before 1 o'clock. I guess that, but I guess that just straight up is counteracted by this. That's a massive contradiction. Of course, it's drunk. I read that already. Dude.
What's your point, my learned friend?
The question we must answer is who could have shot Mr. Windibank? It is the belief of the defense that the defendant is not the not the only possible answer at all.
You have my attention. In that case, let us return to this plan of the premises. The victim was killed in the storeroom, which was locked from the inside. Those are the facts. So pray, what other possible answer to the question of who shot the man could there be?
Counsel, you must now provide answers to the court in respect to two conundrums. Two, my lord. Twice as many chances to be right, maybe? Indeed. Namely, from what location did the culprit shoot the victim? And furthermore, where was the victim at the time? Understood, my lord.
Are you alright, Bruno?
I'm not entirely sure. But there's one thing I am sure about. If I can prove that there's a credible new alternative to what happened, it would change Gina's prospects hugely.
So now, time for some clarity.
Show the court on this plan the answers to the questions posed by his lordship. If you believe someone else could have killed the victim, indicate from where that person could have fired the gun. Where could someone have fired the gun? Let me just look at here. Let's look at this picture real quick. There's not enough room on the back. Well, is there enough room back there? I feel like it's just room for him. You can clearly see the door. Hmm. Oh, interesting. No, I'm not gonna mess with that right now. That's irrelevant. So that's where they were positioned originally. Well, I don't. Wait. What? Well, the thing is, if they were right here, well, the cameras in question there was one right here, and there was one right here. Both were facing this wall and the door. The door was closed the entire time, so we can't see if there's anybody else in here. There is a blind spot right here, but at the same time, who would hide in this blind spot? If the two burglars were out here and Mr. Windibank was right here, then they would clearly be seen in this blind spot, or this blind spot for that matter. And then the rest of the store is covered. So they have whoever was I feel like they have to be like inside the storeroom. firing the gun.
Take that!
Defense believes that the culprit could have shot the victim from this location here.
And in answer to the second question, assuming the culprit fired from the location indicated where was the victim at the time.
Okay, so we're just... Okay, so we just laid down where he was. But I feel like... If it's right here... Well... I'm not sure if this is right. I'm not sure if this actually is considered right. But if he was out, well, I'm gonna put that here. Defense believes that the victim could have been in this position. Yeah, okay.
What your answers in fact show is that your own position is as absurd as those you have indicated on the plan.
What are you saying? What Roland Van Ziek is saying, counsel, is that I'm getting penalized. The answers are clearly flawed. Ouch! I literally got hurt. I knew it. It's twice as many chances to be wrong.
So the questions are, from where did the culprit shoot the victim? And where was the victim at the time? Well, let's see why we can't show that someone other than Ginny could have done it in the storeroom, do you?
We can't show that someone other than Gene. Yes, that's the right way of looking at it, I suppose. Someone other than Gina in the storeroom. What's the best move here? Should I try again or gather more information first? Oh. Hold on. Do I still have the cross-examination back here? I don't think. Yeah, I think it didn't go back far enough. Dang it. Should I try again? Am I supposed to like object to something during the cross? Well, I just want to say I'm gonna see where leave it actually puts me. My lord, I would like to consider the situation a little more before giving my answers yet again.
Consider the situation as much as you like. The answers do not exist.
Does this take me back to the cross-examination? Yeah, okay, it will. So that's all the brothers are willing to reveal this time, is it?
They're still hiding something, don't you think?
Yes, I'm sure of it. Not just a minor detail either.
It's almost certainly because that's at least two of the poor must have been well. Can't let them get away with it, Bruno.
I know. I get the feeling that there's even less evidence at my disposal this time to prove that they did it.
We've come so far. Now it's time to finish them off.
Well, I'll do my best. So we're back here. What do they say on this fourth statement?
Hold it!
I'm just gonna go through this again. Where do I? Ran away into the storeroom. Huh. Do you know the lesson is when it makes it down to force open the store door? Yeah, like how did it get the gun back in his hand? This is definitely a contradiction here. Yeah, there's a contradiction here somewhere.
Objection.
No. Ah. Damn it. What the heck then? Oops. Dude. Save. I was doing so well in the early parts of this. I guess I'm gonna be right back. I need more water. And I also need to use the bathroom. I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. I'm back. What the button did I just push? Fine. That does not mean to push that button. Alright. If I'm to show him, I guess I can examine this now.
You have to pop your 2 prints in here to start, you see?
And then when you look through the eyepieces, you can see the image in 3 dimensions.
The important thing is to get right is the position of the 2 prints.
I don't know who came up with the idea of a stereoscope, but it's really quite fascinating. Wow, that's it. Fine. Guess there's nothing to that at all. Huh. Hmm. What's on the these again? I mean, besides the cat, obviously. I don't think these are relevant though. 10:30 p.m. Yeah. Those aren't relevant. That's not relevant. Yes. I mean, but judging by the amount of blood he had he had to have been killed in here. The blood just can't get soaked up in. I mean, he was wearing a kind of thick coat, but he was also inside, and it's April, so I don't think it was wearing that thick of a coat. Thick enough to like absorb all the blood. So no, he had to have been killed in his room. Question is, where would the victim have come, or where would the shooter have come from? It's the McGill case. No other visible signs of trauma, yeah. Do I need any other hints? Well, I can't exactly disprove that. Does this contradict your last statement? Give me the gun, pal. Oh. Ban! My stupid bot's not catching those now. I need to. We need to update the bot. We need to update the bot to ban those automatically. I don't. No, I don't think you guys killed him. I want to say there's a third party besides you guys. Should I just go back? Hold on, I just saved. Oops. Oops, I didn't mean to do this. I just saved, so I'm gonna actually go back to the other statement earlier and like see what happens if I put the victim and the accused, if the victim and the shooter inside the storeroom.
Hold it!
Hold on. Oh, I didn't mean to push that. That's right, Gina's the only one. There's no one else in the room.
I do like that, Bruno. It really will be all over.
That 10-year-old was reading the expression on my face.
Well, you don't just have that many. Wide-eyed, sweating, smug, and happy. That's about it.
Surely there's more than that, isn't there?
Anyway, I think you might want to consider some other possibilities here. Or rather, I think you have to. Otherwise, we won't get anywhere. Rather, you won't get anywhere. I'm just here for more support, remember?
It's a time like this that I really appreciate it the most. Okay, well. I didn't mean to push that button. I meant to go back to the other statement. Come on! Ugh. Why does it have to be the last statement? Why is it so long, too?
Hold it!
Come on, blah 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 blah. Okay, slow down a little bit. Could have been. I'm just gonna put what I know for a fact. Okay. So I feel like the victim was in here. I feel like the shooter was in here. Actually, yeah, I think I'm gonna put the shooter there. And I'm gonna put the victim here.
Take that! Objection!
No, okay. Dang it. Ugh. Please choose a place that's outside the storeroom. You're saying that someone shot Mr. Winnebank from inside the storeroom, they'll just say it was Jeannie. Okay. I guess I didn't read that because that was new. That was new. From inside. Yeah. I did save with 2 HP though, but I did save. I like to point the locations again. For punishment, blah blah blah. Alright. Get back to this. So, based on what Iris is saying, I put the shooter somewhere out here. Did we ever find like a well, we didn't find a basement in there, like some sort of hidden passage. Are we just gonna flat out say it was the guys? I wonder. Cause he could have run here and they could have just shot him. Maybe that's the point we're trying to make. I'm gonna
Take that!
try that. Put them there. And then I'll put
Take
window
that!
bank in here. Here we go. Okay. Culprit shocked the victim from outside the storeroom.
Continue.
Mr. Winterbank died instantly from a bullet wound in his back. Looking at the stain of blood on the storeroom floor, it doesn't appear that the body was moved after death, which tells us that he was almost certainly shot while he was even in the storeroom. However, the crucial point is, where was the shooter when the fatal bullet was fired? So you're adamant that the shot was fired from outside the storeroom? Well, according to the Skulking brothers' earlier testimony. If Mr. Winterbank ran away through the door, we have to assume that the door was open at the time. Ah! It was at precisely that moment, when the victim was fleeing for his life, that these brothers had the perfect opportunity to shoot the man in the back, once he was inside the storeroom. Okay, I see what they're trying to say.
Come to think of it, do you remember what the prosecutor said at the start of the trial?
What? I don't remember this. A rising diagonal trend. Yeah. What else is there? Shorter in height.
Poor man, shot while I was running as fast as he could to safety.
Ah, of course! He would have been leaning forward as he was running away. So even if the bullet was followed horizontally, it would still have entered his body on an upward trajectory. Oh, that's a good point.
So the culprit isn't necessarily someone shorter than Mr. Winterbank.
Objection!
I'm sure my learned friend can't have forgotten that the storeroom door was found closed and locked from the inside. He claimed that the victim was shot as he fled into the room. Do you also claim that his corpse was dexterous enough to turn the key in the lock?
Ah, whoop. Oh, gosh. Excuse me. What if someone else locked the door? Yes, there was someone else who could have locked the storeroom door.
Is that so?
It's like, what type of lock are we talking about? Very well then, counsel. Present your hypothesis to the court. In the scenario just described, the defense's assertion is that the victim was shot from outside the storeroom. I'm saving. Now I only have 1 HP. In which case, who shut and locked the storeroom door from the inside? I mean... Isn't it understandable that she just went inside to look for the papers? Lock the door to prevent anyone else from seeing, and then just saw the body and fainted? Saw the body on gun and fainted.
Like, there's no other way.
Take that!
Obviously, the person who locked the door was the only other person inside the storeroom at the time. The defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade.
Objection!
That's absurd. You're suggesting that the accused deliberately engineered the sealed room? For what possible reason? Such actions would only serve to tighten the noose around her neck. I'm inclined to agree, I must say. Well, counsel? Ah, yes. That's a tricky one, that isn't it? Oh no. Half-baked notions have no place in my courtroom, counsel. Remember that, please.
But of course, Ginny would have locked the door. It almost goes without saying, doesn't it?
It does.
Well, if I was Ginny in that situation, I know I would have locked the door as quickly as I could. I mean, those two burglars had just fired a gun in her direction, hadn't they?
Oh, that's a good point. Oh yes, obviously. She was scared that the two brothers would shot him. Shoot her. Before the two brothers arrived, Miss Lestrade and Mr. Winterbank were in the storeroom together. Now, I don't know what went on between them at the time, but at some point, Mr. Winterbank must have heard the intruders breaking into his shop and left the storeroom. Intruders, eh? That's our bro. If your theory is correct, they would leave the accused alone in the storeroom. Yes, it would. Then, probably only moments later, the victim fled back to the storeroom door, hoping to escape danger. Hit in the back by a bullet, Mr. Winterbank fell to the floor where he was, just inside the storeroom. And just what have we to ask ourselves now is, what would the defendant have done in that moment? I see where you're going with this. Outside the storeroom was a terrifying killer who had just murdered Mr. Winterbank. As soon as that thought struck Miss Lestrade, she slammed the door shut and locked it, in order to save her own life.
Hold it!
Wait, what, you said hold it? But I mean, we ain't the ones who done it. We ain't, girl, we ain't. We gotta believe us. I mean, come on, we never shoot no one.
Objection!
That's blatantly untrue. I know for a fact that you would. Because before my own eyes, you shot Mr. Herlock Sholmes. There's only one logical conclusion here. Mr. Skulkin, you brothers had every opportunity to have been the true perpetrators of Mr. Winterbank's murder. Where does that leave us? You mean to say he wasn't pickpocket who shot the pawnbroker at all? No, there was no three brothers. And like I said, he's just enforced.
Those are meanies, Bruno. All the members of the jury seem to be firmly on your side now.
I know, first time ever. Probably last.
Well, I think you've done it. Surely they'll have to give a verdict and not. If not.
Oh no. An admirable effort, my learned friend. What's this now? He's laughing. You find the situation amusing, Lord Von Zieks? I myself find the defendant's argument most persuasive. I dare say. Such sincere, chicanery. Chicanery? I need to look that up. Hold on. Chicanery, use of trickery to achieve a political, financial, legal. Oh. I see. I see. Hold on. I see. Such chicanery is the bread and butter of the street performers in your provincial eastern nation. But such blatantly malicious conjecture and tricks amount to nothing more than inexcusable pettifoggery here. What? The hypothesis you put forward is so... Uh, it's... Geez, your vocabulary right now is really kind of... That it's giving me a stroke, dude. The hypothesis you put forward so ostensibly, credibly, cannot and will not stand. Because, you see, it contains a fatal flaw. At least you said something simple this time.
A fatal flaw?
Do you mean to tell me that you're unaware of your logic's failing?
I say, Lord Van Six. Might be an idea to explain this bally conjecturing to whatever it is the troops on the ground. I need a drink.
Excuse me. The fatal flaw, my learned friend's argument, is really very simple to understand. Assuming you're not too dim-witted to count bullets.
Hey, Jordan, count bullets.
Oh dear. He noticed it.
What's what we're talking about? Yeah, he's talking about like the fact that they just use his gun.
Counsel.
Yes, sir.
Tell the court, how many bullets were found at the scene of the crime?
Two bullets.
Correct. The first, that which hit the victim in the back, ending his life. The second, that which struck the detective, Mr. Sherlock Holmes, on his arrival at the scene.
Indeed. The defense presented a picture showing the damage caused by the second bullet earlier in the proceedings. Yeah, we were the ones who found that. The bullet which injured Mr. Sholmes appears to have passed through his body to strike the calendar.
Your lordship's understanding is correct. Furthermore, we know that there are two firearms involved in this incident. The revolver belonging to the victim, Mr. Winterbank, and the Skulkin brothers' revolver. The evidence shows that a single bullet was fired from each gun.
Yes, indeed it does. A single bullet from each.
Now then, my learned friend. You yourself told the court only moments ago that these two brothers shot Mr. Sherlock Holmes right before your eyes.
Yes, I did. Oh my goodness! I think you'll find
Not a single bullet that was fired from a burner gun at Mr. Holmes, it means.
Winterbank not shot by the same gun. Stop! Only one bullet. Stop!
Exactly. Yes, this Nippony street performer presented an ostensibly credible argument. However, there's never anything more than a diversionary trick with no hope of standing up to scrutiny.
Ah! Order, order, order! And there goes his bottle.
Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging the dregs of this hollow nectar into the public gallery.
Lord Van Zeeks.
But this court needs to open its eyes. The accused, Miss Gina Lestrade, is no ordinary little girl. Despite her young years, she can, regrettably, no longer be described as a juvenile. No, the person in the dock is far from a law-abiding citizen. She's riddled with criminal conduct. The truth is, the accused broke into the pawnbroker on the night in question with loathsome intent. And as we can see beyond the doubt in this print, which depicts her threatening the victim with the murder weapon. And I have here in my possession one more piece of evidence the prosecution wishes to present.
Oh, it's the freaking. It's the I forget what it's called, but it's the thing from the other day. That disc. Yeah. I completely forgot about this disc. Yes, that music box disc. Miss McGildred's music box disc.
The very day before the hateful murder of Mr. Winterbank, the accused attempted to make off with this article, which clearly doesn't belong to her. It was none of this subtlety of the pickpocket, I might add, but by brute force and brazen impudence.
Good gracious.
Make no mistake, any sympathy for the accused on the account of her years is misguided and dangerous. There are no depths to which this girl will not stoop if pushed. No crime she would not commit. Court forgets that fact as its peril.
I see. I think it would be prudent to take this music box disc as an evidence counsel, as a grim testament to the defendant's character. Oh, you?
Lord Van Six, I am.
Inspector Gregson? What?
Yes, Inspector?
We had our meeting yesterday at the yard with the prosecution service, and I think it was agreed that the disc wouldn't be used as evidence.
Okay, what's this all about? Why is the inspector acting strangely? It's the first time he said anything to Van Zeeks at all.
I'm unaware of any such meeting.
But there's two. It's one of the instructions right from the top. The government bigwigs were insistent.
There's something going on outside. We'll be right back. Alright. Let me just get a drink real quick.
Inspector, I am the prosecutor. I'm the prosecutor, and I alone determine how to present my case. Your warning is noted. Thank you. The prosecution wishes to proceed with submitting this disc as evidence, my lord.
Indeed, bailiff. What is with this disc that... Like, why is the prosecution... Like, why do they not want the prosecution to present this disc? That's really weird.
The prosecution has established accused motive, opportunity, and baseness of character. There is nothing more to add. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I await your informed decisions and rest my case.
I don't believe it. I had the jury on my side for once. For all of 5 minutes.
Oh dear. It wasn't even for 5 minutes, Bruno.
My lord.
What if I made it?
Jeez, man, I don't want these interruptions.
What if I might say something at this point?
Ah, no. Proceed, Mr. Foreman.
Been stumbling about in a bit of fog up to now, truth be told, but all of a sudden, this is barely obvious to me and my men. There's only one thing for it.
Oh, no. Oh, no! Very well. The court will hear from the jury. Ladies and gentlemen, you will present your leanings as the defendant's culpability.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.
We're doing this again, I see. We have a consensus among the jury, it seems.
When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth.
That's my line. I wrote that for Hurley. Ah, how dare he use it against us?
Don't worry, Iris. I don't think we're finished yet. Jeez, man. There's still more to this case than we realize. There must be, because there's one thing I'm absolutely certain of. Gina didn't shoot Mr. Winnebank. That's beyond any doubt. Very well. We will proceed with the second summation examination of the day. Mr. Foreman, are you and the other jurors ready?
Geared up squadron is primed and ready for action, sir.
Very good. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on which grounds you have now determined the defendant to be guilty.
Once a rogue, always a rogue, I say. Different breeds of us law-abiding citizens. As long as 2 bullets were found at the scene, I would say the whole case is done and dusted.
You don't need a stethoscope to see the truth here. Every which way you look at it, it was that pickpocket. What the heck are you doing?
I never imagined that a simple operation would cause me such grief.
The keys attempts out left of the previous day. I can see I'm in for a busy day ahead.
About ballistics aspect, I have seen many shootings. There is nothing I do not know about guns.
It seemed that there was little remaining room for doubt.
Have to admit, I'm rather bowled over by the argument put forward by the chap in black. But that fell apart like a house of cards. I saw that I jolly well been hoodwinked. Well, no more.
The whole courtroom is turning against me.
It's not fair.
Iris?
The prosecutor's being mean. Just because Jeannie's done some things she shouldn't have done in the past. That make her a murderer.
Allow me to savor this fruity vintage while I savor the spectacle of your fruitless debate on the matter. Here's to the truth coming out. Eventually.
Eventually.
That's been enough preamble. Counsel, proceed with the summation examination. Smack. Yes, my lord. Alright. It's freaking 1 HP, oh gosh. Just save.
Hold it!
Just because Miss Lestrade has a history of pickpocketing, she must be guilty of murder. Is that what you're saying?
Ah, well.
All the members of British Army so quick. Are all the members of British Army so quick to judge?
I beg your pardon. A mocking Her Majesty's Armed Forces, the greatest military organization in the world.
No, I'm simply illustrating my point. Making assumptions about people because they're a soldier or pickpocket is wrong and dangerous.
Well, yes, might have a point there, I suppose. Let's not forget the girl has already shown she had it in her from before. She's clearly a criminal, sorted through and through. Can't deny that.
You say that she's shown she had it in her? Or are you referring to this?
Exactly. Tried to swipe that only a day earlier. Or am I mistaken?
Not exactly. Given that I was actually there at the time, it's hard to refute that.
You never actually see the real thing. I can't wait to have a closer look at it.
Oh yes, of course. Because we got the fake. Or Herlock Sholmes made a fake one. With freaking caramel. Oh yeah. Mr. Sholmes did use his caramel bars to make a copy of the disc, didn't he? Then he ordered every type of music box he could find from across Europe.
We still don't know what tune it plays though, do we?
I wonder.
But I'd love to see how the original compares to Hurley's copy.
Gilded's disc. Hopefully the blood didn't encrust any of the spikes. Could it be clue somewhere? Perhaps we should examine in more detail. That's a good idea. Let's look at this. So we have the blood stain, obviously. Didn't look like it encrusted it.
Oh, Bruno, look! This is blood!
Yes, you're right. Just a small smear, but definitely blood. Actually, I feel as though I might have noticed that before.
It's my time to shine again! I thought I'd be away forever!
Oh, yeah, you gotta shoot the gun.
Alright, hold still with that disc, Bruno!
Can we get this done quickly, Iris?
In a flash!
Why am I half expecting this to be green? Holy crap, it is green. Are you kidding me?
Oh, lovely bright shade again!
Wait, that color.
What is it?
It's just that green. It's not the first time we've seen that color, is it? It wasn't Mr. Sholmes that... Well then, who was it? If Mr. Sholmes wasn't shot... Like... How did we not know that was the doofus behind us? Because I'm pretty sure that's his blood. That's the wrong thing. Yeah, this. Yeah, name unknown. It's the exact same color. It's the exact same color, but this is supposed to be... It's supposed to be... What's his face? Where is he? Edgar Benedict. He was the one who got scraped by the music disc. It just turned out to be a minor injury. But he got shot. I guess in all fairness, he could pose as Herlock. Just have to have the... You just have to have the right disguise. Wait a second, wait a second. I guess this kind of looks like the thing on his head. He might have used this as like a disguise of some sort. Huh. Well, that's just me theorizing. I guess I could save that too. You know, actually, this one last thing that I need to take care of. This hopefully will be the last interruption. I'm going to intermission again. I'll be right back. like this animation screen looks like. Thank you, Count. I'm back. Yeah, I need to change the gifts because they're kind of over. I've had these gifts for longer than I wanted to, but yeah, I definitely need. Definitely really like the idea. I'm back, and hopefully for good now. All right.
Hold it!
It's the number of bullets that has you convinced. Only 2 bullets were fired. The 2 guns that fired them, and the 2 guns that fired them have been examined by the police. When the parlor maid asked me how many are invited for dinner, I always tell her to count the table sittings. Well, that's logical, I suppose. Although, yes, sometimes after dining, crockery does go missing. 1 or 2 guests rather like the fine china. Does your employer dine with thieves? So I suppose if there was another bullet somewhere of which we were unaware, I had to reconsider my position. Another bullet? Okay, a 3rd bullet somewhere on the scene. Could that be possible? I can't prove that right now. I don't know. Fortunately, only 2 bullets were discovered by the police during their investigation. Yes, I know. Right. I don't imagine the good man at Scotland Yard would have overlooked anything. If I missed a bullet while I was cleaning his lordship's office, well, I should receive a sound scolding. I don't know. And he should receive a visit from the police, perhaps. Sounds like a crime scene to me.
A 3rd bullet.
It would completely turn things around if there was one, wouldn't it?
Do you think we might find one lying around somewhere?
Not easy to find a bullet. Yeah, press. So if I understand it correctly, you need 2 pictures. A left eye one and a slightly different right eye one. Why are we talking about stereoscopes now? Exactly! Then you can see the scene in 3 dimensions, like this! So if we have 2 bullets, I don't suppose you can see anything useful with them? I think you'll find that no matter how much you squint, the truth of the situation always looks the same here. The only person who could have shot the victim is that girl in the dock. How can you be so sure of that? Think about it. The Skulka brothers shot the great detective, didn't they? Yes, that's been mentioned once or twice. Well then, surely it's coming into focus now, is it? This is a waste of time. Not going to change this man's mind anytime soon.
Hold it!
What operation are you talking about? Would you please stop muttering about things that have nothing to do with this trial, sir? The defendant's life is on the line here. Well, the thing is, I couldn't really say that it's nothing to do with this trial, to be honest. Huh? I mean, there's no question that the man was shot, but the bullet is simply vanished from his stomach. It's quite inexplicable, don't you think? Vanish from his stomach? I almost don't want to ask, but this surgery you've been muttering about all this time, you were operating on? What was that for name now? Hairlid? No, hairlock? No. Hairlock? Herlock Sholmes by any chance? Yes, good lord! It was that hairlock fellow! What? You're the surgeon that operated on Mr. Sholmes? Dude, you just now realizing this? This is also the same guy that had that green jacket from that one case. That's right. Using the very latest anesthesia techniques, I might add. It was a fairly major op, I can tell you. This is crazy. Let me see. The fellow was brought in not long after midnight, if I remember correctly. He said he'd been shot by some criminal on Earth. So I opened him like a shot. But the funny thing is, I went over his inside with a fine tooth comb and couldn't find a bullet anywhere.
I'm afraid I had to throw up my hands and just stitch the fella back up. I hate to state the obvious, but yes. Surely that's because the bullet is still at the scene of the shooting. Council of Defense is correct. And didn't he get shot through the shoulder? I thought he got shot in the shoulder. As is clearly shown in this photographic print. Bullet at the Skulkin Brothers fire and Mr. Sholmes hit him in the stomach region. Then exited his body and lodged in the shop wall where the counter was hanging by the door. I think you'll find it's really quite simple if you just consider the problem three-dimensionally. Oh yeah, I think I am, son. Well, jury number 4 is about the best I could do. As soon as I saw the wound in a man's stomach, I flipped him over. Like a pancake? Are you saying you checked his back? Of course I did. There wasn't a trace of injury. No sign that the boy had left the body at all. What? That's the point! The only logical conclusion was that the boy was still somewhere in the man's innards. Which is exactly why I said about slicing him up. And I'm still none the wiser even now. How many times do I have to say it? So, can somebody please explain how it happened? Can somebody please solve the mystery? It's one of those much of a mystery is how this jury was put together. A mystery of where the boy ended up is infuriating. Why is an expert when you need one? Well, I think I have someone to pin you against. I'm not even gonna press on this one. Hold on. You know, maybe I should press on this one. Yeah, I'm gonna press on it. I'm not risking anything. I've got 1 health. Mr. Sholmes surgeon is on the jury. I experienced some coincidences recently, but this is ridiculous. I'm so surprised at anyone. But there's no question Mr. Sholmes was shot. Well, that's what the police told me when they brought him in.
How bad were his injuries, Doctor?
It wasn't in a bad way. He had lost a huge amount of blood, you know. I suspect he was scarred at quite close range, too. Because his skin was badly burnt around the point of entry. Wow. Burnt? And I should have flipped the fellow over and examined his back. There's no sign of an exit wound. Why is that? I better locate the lung and pop it out. And yet you say you found no bullet inside the patient? Well, I wouldn't have done what I said it's in the wall of the pawnbroker. But how to get there? I need someone to solve this mystery before it drives me to insanity. If there's some way, if there was some expert in ballistics who could help, even if he looked extremely untrustworthy. Oh, I see. So we have a disappearing bullet on our hands. Okay, well, I guess I could press you as well. Because your statement's irrelevant. What do you mean you're in for a busy day? I forgot to say, stop. Do you excuse me, stop. I'm a communications officer, stop. Communications officer? Does that have something to do with the sending telegrams? Everything from personal messages written by the members of the public to the latest news in the capital. I convert all the messages to Morse code and tap it out to the entire world electronically. To the entire world? Dozens of miles of cable under the sea. Stop. Worldwide communication network. Stop. Information transmitted to and from all corners of the globe. Stop. Ah, yes. She was getting equally worked about radio waves or the like before, wasn't she? I specialize in communication. Communicating information from government departments and newspaper offices. I see! I'm sure I should have to wire the newspaper reports of today's verdict later today. So no sleep for me tonight, I imagine. Let's just finish the trial first, shall we? That was pretty irrelevant. You are a ballistics expert. Let's actually see what you have to say first. I thought you were just a tourist. Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I'd like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please. There's no way just a visiting tourist.
So, you're a ballistics expert. Who knew?
Ah, much experience with guns. Ah, I've lived through many, how you say, um, extreme, quiet, bath of, no, blood of,
Ah! Extreme violent blood blast, perhaps?
those, extreme fire and blood blasts. English is a very difficult tongue.
Considering the sort of people you associate with, I'm surprised you still have a tongue.
Anyway, if you have questions about bullets and guns, you ask me. There is nothing I do not know. No mystery I cannot solve.
He's very confident in his knowledge of guns, that's for sure.
But, if possible, please, only in Russian language.
He's not very confident in knowledge of English, though, is he?
No, still, we should bear it in mind. He's a man of the, if there's a mystery about guns and bullets. I wonder. Van Zieks has managed to convince everyone.
We have eliminated the impossible, he said, but he hasn't.
If we're going to fight back, we need more material. We have to fight back. We have to turn this trial around again. Okay, well. We got a ballistics expert over here.
Objection.
These two statements certainly contradict the idea that all I do is pit jurors against each other.
Oh, a ballistics expert? Pitting? P-I-T-T.
The night in question, Mr. Sholmes was shot by one of the Skulker brothers. But since there was no sign of an exit wound on his back, we must assume that the bullet didn't pass through him. However, no bullet was found lodged in Mr. Sholmes' body either. Furthermore, a bullet was found lodged in the wall of the shop where Mr. Sholmes was shot. Juror number 6.
Hello, my name is Villain. Pleased to meet you.
This apparent contradiction to the facts is that is so clearly troubling juror number 4. You able to explain the mystery?
I have seen a very similar situation in Motherland. It was a night. There was blizzard. I was running away along mountain road in freezing cold.
Golly.
The snow was piling high on both sides of the road. It was very narrow and dangerous. My pursuers had hunting rifles, and they were on dog sleds.
Mental note, don't ask too many questions.
I was shot from behind and fell down in snow.
Oof.
This situation was very similar to what I hear today from Doctor. They could not find a bullet in my body, and no sign of, how do you say, exit wound.
And where'd the bullet go?
Bullet never hit me.
Well, if it never hit you, why did you fall down?
Bullet hit frozen wall of ice, very close to my side.
What?
One small piece, very sharp, broke away from lump of ice and pierced my body. It made a deep wound that looks just like bullet wound.
Oh, gracious.
Of course, a piece of ice quickly melted inside me. And that's the solution to the mystery of disappearing bullet.
But we don't have ice at all. But that's not the question at all. The shooting happened at the pawnbroker's shop. Not some snowy mountain running out of the country. Just an idea. But we might not be looking at exactly the same scenario here.
Bruno! Where exactly was Hurley shot again?
Well, according to the report, in his stomach. So around this area, I think.
Well, that's precisely where he always wears a little pouch on his belt.
A pouch? Actually, I might have noticed something like that.
Yes, a pouch. It's where he keeps 3 glass vials of very dangerous chemicals that he uses in investigation.
Uh-oh. What? Really? Doctor, where is the pouch Mr. Sholmes is wearing? Well,
The fellow had nothing like that on his person when he arrived at the hospital, as far as I remember. If I may.
Lord Van Zeeks.
While I realize that it's forbidden for the prosecution to interject during the summation examination, I should inform the defense that I have the pouch in question at the entertainment outside the courtroom.
Sorry?
As I understand it, when the police arrived on the scene and found Mr. Sholmes injured, they removed the pouch in order to assess the wound. Oh, thank goodness. I thought I was getting forgetful for a moment. Since then, it has been in my safekeeping along with all other evidence relating to the case. I can personally vouch for the fact that it has not been touched since the incident occurred.
Very well. While extremely unconventional during a summation examination, I must demand that the prosecution present the item in question with all speed. Bring forth Mr. Herlock Sholmes' pouch. I see. So this is the pouch worn by Mr. Sholmes on the night in question. There is a broken bottle. That's not good. Look at that! One of the files is broken and the leather around it is scorched black. It's almost as if the file exploded. Exploded? So that night, a bullet from the Skulker Brothers gun struck Mr. Sholmes' pouch.
It was a glass file exploding that caused the fellow's injury.
This bullet did not penetrate victim, but was deflected into a wall of shop.
It's a delightfully complex aroma.
Well, it would appear one mystery has been solved at least.
Though it has no bearing on the truth of this case. The bungling and burgling brothers shot the detective, and the accused shot the pawnbroker. The pertinent facts of the case remain unaltered.
Ugh.
But at least a mystery solved. I can sleep easy tonight. Thank you, young man.
Thank you very much.
Glad I could help. Due to this bearing on the conundrum just solved, the court will sequester the scruffy pocket as evidence.
Hurley's pocket isn't scruffy.
Now, summation examination. It would appear that the defense is somewhat struggling to alter the opinion. Please, my lord, a little more time. After all, it's a new piece of evidence. It could be a valuable clue. You can't afford to overlook anything here, Ryunosuke. There's still a way to turn this around, somehow. I'm sure of it. Well, let's actually look at this real quick. Oh wait, I'm going the wrong way. Yeah, it just flat out exploded. That's where the bullet hole was. It's really scorched badly just here.
Oh, the strap is broken. Look,
That must be where the bullet hit then.
let me see.
Oh, flat out, there's the other bullet. It's just stuck there. What the? Iris, look! Behind where the broken file was. Do you see it? I think we found our third bullet.
Ah, that's Skulker Brothers' bullet.
What a stroke of luck that it hits his pouch. This is an amazing discovery. What this means is there were 3 bullets fired at Windibanks that night.
We found exactly what the juror was talking about. A third bullet.
It's time to press that juror again, I think. Hey, we got the third bullet as evidence too. I wonder what's in these vials and what actually exploded the vial. Oh wow, even the back got hurt. I like how this little lump is caused by the bullet. I guess now we can actually flat out look at the bullet. It's definitely dented. I don't know if that's blood or what. I don't know what that is. It's the bullet that was fired from the Skulking Brothers gun on the night of the incident.
Yes, so it turns out it never actually entered Hurley's body at all.
Thanks to the thick leather of that pouch he was wearing, it saved him.
Hurley's always lucky like that.
Well, considering what he had to go through in the hospital. I wonder how lucky he really was.
Oh dear, poor Hurley.
Oh, well. Hold on. I need to press you again.
Hold it!
Blah 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 blah. We found your third bullet. Shut up with your thieves and such. I can prove it. Let me just show you then. The third bullet.
Take that!
Here it is. We discovered it just now. Yes, on the night in question in Winnipegg's pawnbrokery, another bullet was fired.
Hold it!
What, you said hold it?
What is this new trick in our enigmas conjure? Where did you find that bullet?
It was lodged inside Mr. Sholmes' pouch.
What?
This pouch was removed from around Mr. Sholmes' waist before he was taken to the hospital. And since then, it has been touched by no one. You mean to say that shot fired with the Skulkin brothers that night? Yes, as your lordship has surmised, it hit this pouch. But that makes no sense whatsoever. We already know what the whereabouts of the bullet fired at Mr. Sholmes. It's clearly visible in this photographic print. 2 guns from the scene have already been submitted into the court record as evidence. Yes, that Mr. Winnebank and that belonging to the Skulkin brothers. An examination of both guns revealed that only a single bullet had been fired from each. But that must mean... That's right. We now know that on the night in question, 3 bullets were fired. However, only 2 bullets were fired from the guns recovered from the crime scene. Until that incontrovertible inconsistency is somehow explained, we cannot and must not pass judgment. Order! While this examination remains incomplete, the court has been presented with new facts. Facts that would appear to shake the very foundations upon which the case against the defendant has been built. As my prerogative in this situation, I hereby temporarily suspend the summation examination. Oh, what? You can do that?
By Jupiter.
What? Bailiff, bring the witnesses back to the stand at once. You can actually do that? Oh boy, here we go again. Oh, hi, how's it going? Witnesses. Governor! Were you listening to the proceedings while the defense carried out the summation examination? We was, Governor, we was!
Perhaps we can dispense with the tedious preamble. Simply answer this one question. A third bullet has been identified at the scene of the crime. What do you make of that?
Make it up! I didn't make nothing, I can't.
Is it one of yours?
Go blame me, Governor, go blame me, not a chance!
In that case, did you have an accomplice?
What? What? Never! The Skulkin brothers work alone! I mean, there's 2 of you, so you're clearly not working alone, so that's a contradiction. It's just the 2 of us! That's our trademark! How soon we forget poor Sulky.
Only 2 of the bullets from the crime scene originated from the firearms we have in evidence. The third bullet is fired from another gun. Where is it?
Let me, that's an head scratcher. Counsel for the defense. Yes? I should like to hear your thoughts regarding the new developments. Ah, boy. The third bullet, and the mysterious missing firearm from whence it came. Thinking back over the testimony we've heard and all the evidence we've seen, I think I'm starting to form a picture of what really happened that night. Marler, I think it's clear what this third bullet tells us about the Skulkin brothers. They had a secret accomplice, they had another gun, it has nothing to do with them. I think, well, yeah, we know. The blood is proving that Mr. Edgar Benedict did it. I believe it has nothing to do with them. Nash! That's right! Yeah, nothing to do with us, Gov. We've established that one bullet was fired from each of the two guns already known to the court. Logical conclusion, therefore, is that on the night in question, at Mr. Winnebank's pawnbrokery, there was another person present in possession of a third firearm. Whilst the brothers may have had nothing to do with the third gun or the bullet fired from it, it's inconceivable that they had nothing to do with the third man. Yes, the brothers were working with an accomplice who was carrying a gun.
An accomplice, you say? Pigs will. These protracted proceedings have already forced us to endure 2 summation examinations. Yet all the time, there has not been a murmur of a third man. This apparently wraith-like being exists. The court must be shown hard evidence. Without it, this fantasy will be crushed. Prosecution demands answers on 2 accounts. Oh no, not 2 again. Firstly, proof, evidence that this accomplice was ever at the scene of the crime. And secondly, the identity of this spurious character.
The Skulkins are lying, I know that. But how can I ascertain the identity of the person they're hiding? Well, counsel, I'm supposed to prove the existence of this accomplice and reveal the person's identity even. In response to the prosecution's demands, the defense is... I'm pretty sure that with the blood tests we have, that is not the blood test. With the blood test we have, this and this, us actually witnessing when this bloodstain got here, we can deduce that it's Edgar Benedict. So I'm ready to present answers. Defense is ready. I believe I can provide all the answers the prosecution demands.
So, my Nepalese friend, despite the swimming eyes, you seem to think you have something to say. This promises to be interesting.
I do it just because of the name. Hey! Well, welcome, Ultimate Sonic fan. How's it going? we're twins, sort of. I have to push forward now. There's no other option. I need to use every single piece of evidence available to me if it will make a difference. In that case, counsel, I would ask you to present the evidence without delay. On the night in question, in the moments leading up to the death of the victim, what proof have you that there was a third intruder present at the scene? What do I present first? Should I present the blood first? Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna present this first.
Take that!
Yeah, okay, good. The evidence is right here in this portfolio. By Jove, that portfolio again, is it?
You expect the court to rifle through your papers itself? Be more specific. You claim one of those blood samples proves the presence of this third intruder. Well, which one is it?
Crap. I think it's. I'm gonna say it's this one. This is the blood sample that proves it. Perplex me, counsel, by looking so pleased with yourself despite the quite displeasing. And no, 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 no. You do no, no, no. I should have presented the other one. Game over. I've seen it. One of the powers vested in me by Her Majesty the Queen, I demand for no further explanation necessary. I'll be requesting the final decision of the members of the jury. Are you ready? I'm doing good. Good that you're doing good. I'm doing well too.
Guilty.
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 Well, why did you rebalance the scales? They were already guilty. Whatever. Yeah.
Guilty.
Quarters of and slam the door shut. Yeah, I'm gonna resume a save game. Alright. This is why I save. Okay. Zabba, 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 zabba. At least the game knows that I've seen this already. I can present answers. Yeah, 15 plushes of Sonic, 4 Cuphead plushes of Mortal Kombat plushes. Like, that's quite the collection. Meanwhile, all I have is a freaking Oshawott plush, which I want in a crane machine, I still love that thing. Okay, what proof do I have? I have blood samples. And then I'll just present the one with a bullet.
Take that!
What am I looking at here? There appears to be some green paint or such like around the bullet hole in the middle of the calendar. That's a bloodstain, my lord. A bloodstain?
Green blood. Curious even for you. Is a court to understand that the intruder was some unhuman creature.
It's something developed by Mr. Herlock Sholmes. By the great detective! New invention, stop! Now you appear in the story, stop!
It's this, you see? It doesn't have a name yet, though. This fogger sprays a chemical that reacts with the different elements in people's blood to change its color.
Different elements of people's blood?
Yes, everyone's blood is slightly different, you see, because it's made up of different elements. So by seeing what color it changes to, you can tell in a flash whose blood it is.
Oh, that brings a whole extra dimension of looking at blood. Talk blood in courtroom. Stop. Very exciting. Stop. As an example, this one shows the blood of the victim, Mr. Winterblank. Ah, striking blue. Yes, so you see, the green color of this bloodstain on the calendar shows that somebody else was shot in the main part of the shop.
Now hold fire there, young man. Could be some unrelated incident, could it?
No, it's not unrelated. The date showing on the calendar is the date on which Mr. Winterblank was killed.
By golly!
Therefore, we can assume that whoever was shot on the same day. Well, the Skulkin brothers in the stand don't appear to be suffering from any gunshot injuries. Which means it must be the blood of somebody else. The third intruder, in fact.
Objection!
Thank you for the follow, the ultimate Sonic fan.
Whose identity the court is still waiting to hear. You can't delay this any longer, my learned friend. Who is this alleged third intruder?
Time to place accusations.
Take that!
The man's name is Eggert Benedict. Eggert Benedict? Who on earth are you talking about, counsel? He paid a visit to Winnebank's pawnbroker in the afternoon before the incident took place.
When the accused attempted to deceive the pawnbroker into releasing this article interpretation.
That's right. The man identified by the defense, Mr. Eggert Benedict, then attempted to take the article from the defendant by force. Flashback to that. I don't know why it still says question mark, question mark, question mark. Because I mean, it said question mark, question mark, question mark back then, but like, we know his name. Inspector Gregson was there at the time and can attest to what happened. In the end, it was the inspector himself who took the disc. Can you corroborate this account, Inspector?
Yes, my lord. That's more or less what happened. In the interest of being thorough, I asked Windobank for prints shown for the fellow.
11 a.m. Okay.
Taken from one of his red-headed recorded gubbins.
Yes, that's him talking to Mr. Winnebank that morning. And you claim this man is the brother's accomplice. Well, Mr. Skulkin.
Never seen a geezer before in my life. On me life, girl. On me life. Never seen him.
Well, somewhat unsurprisingly, it appears our witnesses disagree with the assertion.
I'm sure your lordship recalls my learned Nipponese friend's actual assertion, which was that he could prove the identity of the alleged accomplice.
Yes, and I can. Then show us the evidence. I'm gonna save. Because I don't want to go through that dialogue again. I agree. We must see proof that the clean-cut gentleman in the photograph is the filthy criminal you say he is. This is the last piece of evidence. I've had a feeling that something has been missing in this trial from the very start, but now I'm going to drag it kicking and screaming into the courtroom. Are you presenting your answer to the court, then, counsel? Don't die now. Replace die with fail. All right. I am ready. Yes, my lord. The defense will present the evidence now. Prove that the man in the pictured in this photographic print was in fact the person struck by the third bullet.
Take that!
That proof is right here in this portfolio. Good gracious, counsel, does that portfolio contain the answers to every question posed?
I see you share my interest in claret-colored liquids, my Nipponese friend, but... Enough! The court demands to see further evidence. Which blood sample proves the man you identified was the one shot by the third bullet at the scene of the crime?
I was a little hasty about this one, apparently.
Take that!
I should have done that way earlier. I shouldn't have presented that way earlier. As I mentioned before, on the afternoon of the day in question, the defendant attempted, deceitfully, admittedly, to reclaim this disc from Windobanks. which was when the aforementioned Egbert Benedict appeared at the scene, I believe. The man then attempted to purloin the article from the defendant's possession, no? That's correct, my lord. I myself was present at the time. It was following this that a minor incident occurred. Yep, flashback to when he got pricked. Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. Being a music box disc, it has countless small but sharp metal protrusions over its surface. Those protrusions cause Mr. Benedict's finger to bleed. The resulting smear of blood is still visible on the disc now. Goodness, a bloodstain, is it? My assistant and I have just analyzed the bloodstain here in this very courtroom.
Using my trusty fire gun.
Yes, and we've added the results to this portfolio.
I say,
It's green.
it's exactly the same color as the blood around the calendar.
The evidence is conclusive. The man calling himself Mr. Egbert Benedict, who was in Windibanks earlier in the day, is the accomplice who was present at the scene of the crime the same night.
There was someone else there.
Look at the two brothers now. They're sweating buckets.
Oi, what are you talking about? It's blood in here! My lord, is the opinion of the defense that Mr. Egbert Benedict should be summoned to the courtroom to testify. It would certainly seem that we can ill afford to ignore this gentleman's apparent presence.
Objection!
What do you object to?
This has gone on long enough now. This flagrant ignorance of the mechanics of law. Sherlock Sholmes, you say? Yes, I heard the name. The protagonist in a series of short stories for the vulgar classes. God of detection or some such. And now you employ chemical substances devised by this fantastical persona in the highest court of the land? Do you expect us to take you seriously? Samples made by this plaything are not fit to be called evidence. So the bloodstain turned a shade agreed. What of it? Here you successfully proven that no other blood in the world returned the same color.
Well...
What? And pray, do not even think of suggesting that we should take Mr. Sholmes' word for it.
Is he right, Mr. Sholmes, the load of rubbish? I don't know. I mean, he's a great detective.
What are you talking about? We can't let him get away with that. What? Just take DNA samples of the blood. You can do that, right? I knew it would come to this. Of course, Mr. Sholmes' invention isn't going to be recognized by any official body. But what other choice did I have?
I just remember what Father Christmas over there said before.
Father Christmas? You mean like what? 4 days ago? Almost 5?
About how he's temporarily suspending the summation examination?
Oh, you're talking about the freaking judge. Okay.
In other words, the examination isn't over yet, is it?
Good grief. What did you just say, young girl?
And the summation examination decision as to whether or not the trial continues is in the hands of the 6 jurors, isn't it? So the way I see it, it doesn't matter what certain other people think of Hurley's invention. At least, not for now.
Yes, she's right. Young lady, you have quite a devious mind.
Really just comes down to one thing. Whether these ladies and gentlemen of the jury are convinced by what you said, Bruno. Is that about right, would you say? Or am I misunderstanding something?
Unbelievable. Mr. Sholmes' partner is a force to be reckoned with.
Iris Wilson, sharpshooter.
After that shrewd presses the situation from an entirely unexpected source, it must be acknowledged that the previous summation examination has yet to reach its conclusion.
This is absurd.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court now looks to you for the final leadings in this matter. As proud citizens of Her Majesty's Britain, I'm sure you will come to fair and just conclusions. So then, state your final decisions in turn, please.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Not guilty.
Does every female character sound like Toad in your playthroughs? No, not every not every character. I just give her a high pitched voice because she's 10. She's 10. Okay. 2 called guilty and 4 called not guilty. Such is the outcome of the summation examination.
Objection.
My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage. Prosecution refuses to accept this decision.
On what grounds?
If these jurors are persuaded by some half-baked concoction devised by a pretender to real police work, then they are too ignorant to be trusted with the judgment of anyone's guilt.
Sorry, Lord Von Zeeks, but the outcome of the summation examination cannot be ignored. This trial will continue. He mad. Nevertheless, we find ourselves in a rather awkward situation. The defense has very reasonably requested the subpoena of a new witness. But sadly, I fear that will be impossible. What? Yeah, what? The name of the gentleman gave for himself, Eggert Benedict, is quite clearly false. What? I don't believe it. Just when I'd managed to prove this man was there at that night. Can I say something? Oh. Who was that, please? Who spoke? Oh, it's you. It was me, my lord. Juror number 5. What have you to say, madam? If possible. Inspector.
Me, ma'am?
I wonder if you might show the photographic print to me again. The one which the gentleman has shown.
Alright, yes, this one you mean? Mr. Benedict?
What is this about? Yes. There's no doubt in my mind. Juror number 5, you don't mean to say you know this man? Yes, I know him. What?
No.
Good gracious! Crap, I've got a bad feeling. Order, order, order! Juror number 5, how on earth? I'm a communications officer. Stop. As we can clearly see, the gentleman in the photograph is. Stop. Also, communications officer. Stop. He works in my office. Stop. Oh, no. Failure to operate, in fact. Stop. He should be in a communication station now. Stop. Tapping away on the telegram. Stop. This doesn't seem right somehow. Can't put my finger on why, but it doesn't feel right. I'm saving. I'm pretty sure we're getting close to a saving point, but I'm gonna save just in case.
I suppose we all imagine that the accomplice would be some sort of hardened criminal. It's a bit unexpected to find out he has a respectable job by day, wherever he goes, up to at night, whenever he gets up to at night.
Yes, I suppose that's it. I suppose that's why I felt something was wrong. If the gentleman is at London's communication station, we should be able to subpoena him within the hour. Lord Van Zeeks, if you please.
Yes, my lord.
Make the necessary arrangements with all haste.
As your lordship bids.
The court will recess for 1 hour. When When the new witness arrives, we shall reconvene to hear the gentleman's testimony. Inspector Gregson,
Yes, my lord.
somebody says that my third favorite movie is bad. Me. I'll mention what my third favorite movie is on the other stuff that I'm a fan of. Okay. Alright. I should like to hear from you specifically about the events at the pawnbroker on the day in question. Come to my chambers during recess.
Yes, sure, my lord.
Very well. Court is adjourned until 1:40 p.m. Jeez, when we started this trial at 10. To be continued. Alright. Well, that's going to be it for this stream. 2.5 hours in. It's 1 minute away from midnight where I live. And we're at a save point. Hopefully next time I could... hopefully next time, which will be like on next week on Tuesday, if all goes to plan. I'll probably start that stream earlier because I want that to be the finale. The finale of Ace Attorney Investigations. No, the Ace Attorney Investigation. No, the conclusion of Ace Attorney Adventures. Yeah, I've already completed those games. Well, but thank you for tuning in. Thanks for showing up, song fan. Once again, thanks for the follow. And if you want to watch my next stream, I wish you were picking my plushes and the other stuff. I'm a fan of Steam RPG, a funny game, YouTube comic, cartoon, a PlayStation mascot, 2019 box office bomb. All right, cool. Sounds cool. Next stream is tomorrow. I will be playing Kena Bridge of Spirits. And then Friday, I'm going to be doing a special New Year's stream playing Uno with my buddies. I have weekends off, and if you want to look at my schedule, it's down the bottom area. Thank you once again, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye!